Charging it up, charging it up. See what we dealing with. It's your local one. Hope y'all having a good one. See what's up. See if I can find some. Okay. Checking out some news. See what we're working with. I'm sure people are coming in. So, see what we're dealing with. See how everybody feeling tonight. Do you know the rules? If people come through, when I find people, um, I'll stay on. What's up? What's up? Oh yeah, so I got your thing. I got your thing. You a funny dude. You funny. You funny. You very funny. You need a manager, be a comedian, cause you funny. You know you funny though, right? You very funny. I laughed. I laughed just now. You know why I laugh, right? Dad. I was like, if your last name is Wilson and you're a quarterback, that's nothing to get excited about. No Wilson is worth talking about. It's sad. If your last name is Wilson in 2024, I'm sorry. I can't do nothing for you. I'm sorry. I'm not looking that up. I want to laugh. That's what I want to do. You made me laugh. I laugh hysterical. That made me laugh. I thought you going to, I don't want to hear nobody's last name Wilson in quarterbacking today. That's a shame. I'm like, what happened to the Wilsons who play quarterback? I'm for real. You made me laugh hysterical. I was like, oh God, him. The fact is that he gets a job is scary. You know what this is gonna mean, right? You know what this gonna mean, right? I can see it now. Patrick Mahomes gonna have a podcast, and Zach Wilson is gonna say, "I could never beat you. You were great." Zach Wilson will be like the broke JJ Redick of quarterbacks, and he'll talk trash, and he'll be wearing a blazer. And then, 15 years later, they'll be saying the legendary Zach Wilson, the guy who got booed out of New York and was supposed to be Aaron Rodgers' backup. It'll be something real heinous and horrible. That's what's gonna happen. You know how it's gonna end. How the heck does he get a job? He gotta have some video on somebody. You know he sucks, right? I mean, he's a never was. He's a never was. I They hate him so bad in New York it's comical. This is hilarious. Zach Wilson getting love. He getting a job. Oh, this is hilarious. But you know what that means. I mean, the Jets are looking for a quarterback. That's what that means. They ain't stupid, and they know good and well he ain't the answer to Aaron Rodgers. That's what that mean. I know. But I'm laughing though. I'm still cracking up though. That made me laugh though. Zach Wilson. Wow. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so, Zach Wilson. Say it ain't so. Zach Wilson got a job. Oh, I already know about that. That's old. So Lisa Cabrera must have just jumped on it. I haven't really touched about it. So I follow him on Instagram. And he married this Asian woman. They've been together for about 10 years now. And he got Su Young. Well, no, he been did this. I don't know if you remember about the dirty song he had on YouTube, you should type that in if you ain't heard. Let me see how it works. Cause that was hilarious back in 2012. And he guess he's going through a midlife crisis or something. So if you ain't heard, let me see how it works. That ain't the actual title, but type in Brian McKnight, let me see how it works, the dirty song. You'll know exactly what I mean. So he broke up with his first wife. He was whipping that butt. I heard. And see, this is the thing about McKnight. Far as talent goes, one of my favorite. I mean, the guy can play, can sing, everything. But okay, we're gonna get to the T. Okay, so the ex-wife, he was whipping that butt. Apparently, what's up? What's up? And then I think he was chasing a train. Something went down, training, tracing. Something went down with him. You just know him because he did that video with. Nah, we just starting. I'm just filling in Ted about Brian McKnight, the singer. So hold your horses unless you know who Brian McKnight is. I'm just filling them in real quick. So you remember he did the Kobe video with that whole thing, and and so he done some flips in his life. He broke up with her, married this Asian woman, adopted her, got cuddly with her kids, and then they just had a baby. Now, because he had this song called "Back at One" back in the '90s, and you weren't too young to know him. He was big in the '90s. That's cool. Take your time. So anyway, he um yeah, he went off on his ex and he got married to this chick and he didn't act like he don't remember. He looking like he's looking in the mirror and he just sees his white teeth because he didn't really lost it bad, he been kind of ever since he did that song, he's been kind of like all over the place. Yeah, it's bad. Now he act like he don't know he black or something. So he didn't just disown his first kids and you know. So they don't want nothing to do with him. One of them don't. But at one for a minute, and one of his sons was musicians. They was playing with him on stage. You know. And again, I tell people all the time, this is why I separate the artist, the people from the music, because he's a great example. The guy is freaky talented. I used to watch his live streams, and he get on the piano, and he could play classical jazz. Very talented, can sing. His debut album is still one of my favorite debut albums. However, um, he been messy, and he been tripping, and he's shuffling so bad now, and he ain't even a good dancer, but he's got some extra large shuffling tappers on. No, I just ain't really talked about it because it's not something I wanted to air out. The States is in November, but anyway, that's the Brian McKnight story, and it's pretty bad too. So yeah, November. So anyway, Ted, that's it about Brian McKnight. It's pretty messy. Well, that's yeah, because it's every 4 years. So it's not like they have to give it to the end of the year. That's all. Oh, okay. I hope yours isn't as nutty as the one in America, though. It's a freak show in the States. That's yeah, because he's trying to panhandle. That's what happens in America too. People say that mess. They ain't going nowhere. They say that mess all the time. They ain't going nowhere. I mean, if that actually did happen, I'd be amazed. It's not gonna happen though. Yeah, he's already started, you know, stay greasy. Mhm. So anyway, Ted, I saw Two Raw's video about Embiid and AD. It ain't hard for me, but I know why it's hard though. I know why it's hard because they kind of similar, except without the LeBron factor. Even though AD's had more help, but they kind of similar. But I do believe Embiid would have been if he had stayed healthy, he would have gotten his second straight MVP. I do believe that. I do believe he would have. Oh, you watched my video? Okay. Yeah, well, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. The great lengths that he goes to support somebody who, you know, it's embarrassing. People be voting with their wallets and not their minds. That's the reality. Someone tells you I can save you. Yes, he is. One of the worst kind too. Feet be moving. He think he flying too. Quiet just kept disappointing to the white community. Cause see, they ain't got no respect for him. You shuffling, you ain't gonna get no respect. Think you is. You ain't gonna get no respect. They'll play you until they can't play you no more. And then when they done with you, you just looking like Boo Boo the Fool. But he think he doing something. He think they all on him. It's one of the worst types. That's what we get. Yeah, I did a video about that. I covered that, and he was on one somebody's broadcast, and he was trying to downplay it. See what they do over here. Okay, DP, I'm gonna tell you what they do over here in America. Since you want to get on it, they get African brothers or sisters to come over to America and to talk about the black experience without actually having the African American experience. And then they get them to come over here and then just say the most foul and vile stuff. Yet that's how they get over here. Because even though like the education Acho's got, he is geared towards the black community. So they end up using him as an ally to counter because he gets treated as a good Negro. It's a double-edged sword. So, and that's a problem. But America loves African blacks more than they do black Americans. That's a fact. Yeah, I heard about that mess. I heard about that mess. Of course she did. I did a video about that. Of course she did. Because Gail knows where her butter is burned. She's doing anything to sound like she's hip. I did that video about Aljar Wilson today too. She's the best player in the WNBA. And she can't even get a shoe deal. Yeah, the sanctions against South Africa is because they won't go for the starburst agenda. That's one of the things that was there. And the South Africa president spoke out about it. Told Biden, we ain't gonna do starburst. That was one of the things that I heard. I heard about that. They trying to push starburst. That's what's up. It's agendas. That's one of the agendas. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they do some twisted stuff in the States. Starburst. That means the gay agenda. That's what that means. Now it's a term I use because see, okay, so on YouTube, you can't come out and say you have to use it in a term for LBTQ. So I say starburst. Ted know what I'm talking about. We talking code over here. And yeah, I have to use it in codes just in case the YouTube police be watching. Because you just don't come out and just say stuff because they be like, yeah, I do it in code. So we say starburst. Yeah. That's what happened, what I heard with the sanctions. I heard about that a few months ago. I heard that Biden was going to pull them because South African president said, we ain't doing starbursts over here. Yeah. If you ever watch any YouTube content creators, including myself and others, there's certain things we don't say out loud because they will, even if I was getting monetized or if they can come on you. They got their polices and they're more stricter than they ever were. What happened was is that it used to not be that way, but because they got more celebrities and politicians on here and people be also you got some informants and people be doing all kinds of stuff. So you gotta kind of talk in code. Yeah, I do. Ted do. I ain't because I'm live, I don't have no code on it, but I don't do that. But yeah, it's the same thing. I just say Starburst. The elder be calling them sugar booty. Sugar booty gang. We all got our own way of saying it without saying it, so nobody don't antenna don't go up and say, "Oh, you're offending me." So have to be very. Yeah, you do. I mean, I got other things I say because sometimes when I'm thinking that they at a puffy part, I say cheeks for chicks. Is that's one of my favorite. A booty for the looty. So that's the ones I say as far as industry. But in here, it's Starburst Crew. That's what I say. And generally, mhm. Yep, CFC. That's what I say. Cheeks for checks, booty for looty. It's true. Mm-hmm. Mm. Some of these industries, you see some things, you kind of going, yeah, okay. LeBron had me worried when he saying ain't nothing like a puffy party. I'm like, romp roll. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you got a lot of politicians and a lot of agendas. That's from what I seen. I wish that Africa and black folks came together to the states and was really trying to be about it. There's just so much division and divide. It's crazy because it would set the world up. It was good for New Orleans. CJ McCollum actually came off the milk carton because he was MIA for like a whole 5 months. He actually got off a milk carton for a change. They had a good strategy, but I read the comment section. Someone said it best. New Orleans is a Zion away from winning that series. As good as OKC is, if Zion plays like he did in that last game against the Lakers, they could take him. They could take him. I do believe they could take him. I think they could be had. Zion would be because it's not a lot of dissimilarity between the two. As great as Shay is in chat, right? Um, Zion, if you get anything out of CJ and you get anything out of Brandon Ingram, that's a tight series. They're not that far off from each other. It's not a good battle. I did a video about it today. It's the new guard against the old guard. It's not a good battle. It's not going to be good for KD because his 30 points ain't going to work. I see the changing of the guards. I do. I do. Ja. Zion's off courts is with he was messing with some 304 code woman and he's eating too many ribs. But Ja's got real issues. Zion is just messing with tricks and he's messing with He can't put the food, put the plate down. That's all he got. Ja had real issues. Zion got them kind of issues that need some counseling and some discipline. That's all. Ja got them like he been watching them hood movies. Yeah, you know what? I thought about doing a video about it. If the Mavericks lose, I will, because you know who the X Factor is in that series? He didn't marry. I think he got her pregnant. He ain't married nobody. Zion ain't married nobody. You know who the X Factor is for the Clippers against the Mavericks, right? You do know, right? Waiting on Ted. Nope. Zuba. Zuba is the X Factor for the Clippers. Yeah, he dated her. Because they got no answer in the box. You kept telling me about, I mean, I'm not disputing what you said about Dallas got the size and bigger. But if Zubac goes off, they got no answer for him. And he's legit 18-20 a night. They got no answer for that big boy. Just like Milwaukee and Indiana, if Brook Lopez gets going, I'm telling you, you better hope that don't happen if you're a Pacer fan. Dame was out his mind last night though. But yeah, Kyrie, that's not their problem. They don't play no defense, and the Clippers got their number. They have had Luka's number style wise. To me though, Dallas gets by the Clippers, then they're going to the Western Conference Finals, I believe, because I think that's their biggest rival. He's always off. You should not have said nothing there. You open up that can of worms. I don't buy him. I told you how I feel about him. You always think Tyler Hero's in my doghouse. No, Hardaway's in my doghouse for real. He all right, third, fourth wheel, but he ain't that dude. He ain't that dude. If he had the half of his daddy in him, well, I was hoping it'd be Miami, but that ain't gonna happen. So I don't. Um, Denver and probably I don't know, probably Denver and Boston in the finals. Miami's what I was hoping for, but that ain't gonna happen. I'm a realist. Yes, he was, and his son is the least. That's the difference. His son's least, and he was a beast. Well, I wouldn't call Tim Hardaway Junior, senior a beast. He had handles and he could score. I wasn't. He had some downside, but well, since my Miami Heat ain't gonna go to the finals, I really don't have no hope for nobody. I mean, I think Denver should go because they're the best team I didn't seen, and they got the best player, but I ain't got no real doggy in it. I got to suffer through the Heat getting spanked by the Celtics. So yeah, here's what it be. Sometimes it be like that though. But I wouldn't have a problem if Denver won the finals again. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't have a problem if the Timberwolves went to the finals or OKC or somebody went to the finals. As long as it's teams that are fresh and on the come up, I got no problem with. In the East, it's either going to be Boston or Milwaukee. No chance what? Hey, dealing with these Lakers stands. They always seem to revolve. Yeah, okay. I must see something I don't see. I don't see it. I don't see it. The feeling people gonna still say they when they get their butt beat. So he's a good young kid. He got a lot of upside to him. Just got to bulk up a little bit. I think with a couple years time, and they get him a real score. They get another scoring option with him and Shea. That could be a juggler. That could definitely be a team to watch out for in years to come. But Chad's on the right path though. He works hard. He's got energy, got spunk, got attitude. You know, gonna definitely get battle tested this year. Definitely. You know, I mean, if they get to the finals, they shut me up. So, and they are a fun team to watch. In potential making, yeah, in the making. I wouldn't say that now, but I'd say he's got a chance to be. Yeah, well, it'd be like it's a physical game, and injuries are part of the game. Unless you got some good la juice, most people get some serious injuries in basketball. Just saying. Probably was. No, he was playing last year as a rookie. Well, it was something like that. It wasn't Amory. He got hurt. He was starting training camp. He got hurt in preseason. That's what it was. It was a year ago. And he looked pretty good coming out. I'm not gonna say anything against Marvin Sr. I had much respect for him. Whatever he was, he's one of the best receivers I ever saw. So you're not gonna hear me say anything against that man. Yeah, Chad last year was preseason game. I remember he got hurt. Mm, Could sworn it was like a preseason game. Well, he too young right now, and they don't. And see, he ain't got no name yet because he plays for OKC. So, and I'm just saying, they still in the bushes, if you know what I mean. There's a lot of politics involved. You know this. Adam Silver's not that different than David Stern. Repeat after me. So, you know how that's gonna go. Yeah, he good. It's just that team is young and green right now. They're not. They probably need another piece or two, but they got a nice young squad. They just need another piece or two. I don't think they're going to beat Cleveland. I think Donovan Mitchell is exactly what a lot of teams need as a cherry picker. He's a good example of what he's in the wrong situation in Cleveland because they ain't going to win nothing, but they'll always be. Um, Donovan Mitchell will be like the Mookie Blaylock of the day, even though he's a better scorer. Second round, man. Never passed the second round. But Orlando is a nice young team. No, that ain't what we need. We need a superstar. There's a difference. Y'all need a cherry picker. I can tell you the team picker. If they had a Donovan Mitchell, OKC would be scary. Then they'd give Denver a real run. Uh, you're gonna laugh when I tell you this. Golden State needs a cherry picker. That's why they're not where they are. There are no easy buckets with what they got. Heat needs a superstar. They're not missing. They need a guy that can come in and then they can have Butler and Bam and them fall behind. They don't have that dude. They don't have that dude. That's what's hurting them. They had a dude that was a big time star. Golden State needs a cherry picker because Steph is scoring by himself. They have no easy buckets. They have no easy buckets. And Wiggins is not consistent. They have no easy buckets at all. They don't. That's what's hurting them. Um Donovan Mitchell would solve a lot of teams' problems. His style. He'd be big on the Knicks right now. He'd be big on Philadelphia right now. See, he got to be with the team that can be content. Houston, and he'd fit good with San Antonio. And I know the Lakers are looking at him. No, he's gonna fit because they're gonna allow him to score and shoot. He has to go to a team that's either young and has got a lot of score, or go to somewhere like San Antonio and mid range or Lakers. There's about 2 or 3 places he can go. Not a lot though, because he don't play no defense. And if you put some wood on him, he may be be done. But he gonna have 2 or 3 homes. They're gonna make sure of it. Well, if Golden State does something with Draymond, I believe when I see it. But they have to pretty much revamp their team. They're not doing Steph Curry no favors with what they got around him. That's what the league wants. We're gonna start a new segment on this show. It's called "You Clone." You clone, and that's what he is—a clone, Steph Junior Walker. But yeah, yeah, but where they gonna trade him to? Clay's gonna be a free agent, so he'll go somewhere. But if he don't resign, but if I'm him, I stay in Golden State. Ain't no way you're gonna go that is gonna tolerate because he's that last game alone was embarrassing. I mean, he was 0 for 10. Man, I don't know where he's gonna go. We know that. We know that. Right now he just trying to sign a paycheck. Ain't nobody CP3 can't get nothing out of him. You know. He's trying to ride or die with somebody. That's all that is. He in the war, he's welcome with a lot of people. I wonder why. He been that way because he couldn't get that finals done 3 years ago. That was the last of him, the last hurrah. He's not dead on the court. He still can shoot a little bit. He's not dead on the court. It's just that he's in the NBA. Let me say something to you when you say that. The league is notorious for that because if you've had any kind of success, they'll keep you around 4 or 5 years extra. They do. Michael Jordan was talking about that before. He said I got through watching it with Jeremy Lin. Jeremy Lin had that outer body in 2010, 2011. Well, of course he's trying. He's desperate. But see, Ted, let me break that guy down. Ricky Henderson was a winner, though. Ricky Henderson was kind of like the Dennis Rodman of baseball players, okay? He was a success for a long time. It fell off as he got older. Yeah, when he went to Seattle and Toronto and all that. But you can make the case the greatest leadoff hitter ever and one of the greatest winners ever and one of the greatest players ever. He wasn't. Baseball is not the same as basketball. It's different because we don't hold a baseball player for chasing a ring late. Who would I rather? Okay. Yeah, he could still pitch though a little bit though, but It's different in baseball. We don't hold that against baseball. If you can still play, they let you play. Oh, DP, why you got to do that to me? That's just, ugh, oh God. Let me get a barf bag. I want to, ugh. Oh God, that's a tough, bad question. That's a tough, bad question. Two of my least favorite indulgent guards. I guess CP3. I guess. But that's tough. That's a lot to ask me. You know why you did it too. I mean, that was tough. I had to think about them two. I was like, oh God. Two of the cats I can't stand the most. Because both of them is divas. Both of them don't do nothing in the postseason. Dame looked good last night. I'll give them that. And they're gonna probably beat Indiana too. That's a series that's cut out for him. Because he is a better version of Tyler. He's a tier version better. And the Pacers don't play no defense. So it's Milwaukee can win that series as long as they don't get winded. But that's a tough question for me though. I want neither one of them to get no ring. I don't think neither one of them gonna get a ring either. Because I just don't think that neither one is that memorable. Which player do you think most closely represents LeBron in every aspect? I don't know about all that, Ted. We ain't gonna get into all that. We'll see how it plays out. Let's not go there. We'll see. If the refs don't, no, there was a bad call last night. What you talking about? OKC in New Orleans. Remember that jump ball? They messed that up. That almost backfired. That was stupid on OKC's part. The player that, well, before LeBron, it was Magic Johnson. I said Magic just didn't score a lot of points, but he rebounded, assists. He could score if he wanted to, and he actually did score. That's who I would say. Magic's game, I mean LeBron's game most resembles. And before Magic Johnson, I'd say Oscar Robertson. And if you don't know who those guys are, look them up. Magic Johnson, Oscar Robertson, and then get back to me. And for my money, they were better players too. It still is. They just cracked down on it because now they're gonna fine you. It still goes on. It ain't changed. Yeah, well, that's who his game remind who he would be, and they all around. All players flop. Yes, I take Oscar Robinson over him. Yes. Think about it. He was averaging 26 plus points in an era with hand checks, no 3-point line, and physical defense. He was unstoppable. Yes. They all flop because it's part of the acting class they have to do to play in the NBA. They either walk or they flop. Take your pick. As far as what, Ted? You talking about their play or you talking about their bag? You gotta specify. I'll answer if you tell me which one you're talking about. Well, yeah, because I watched this basketball fly acting league. There's a lot of acting in the NBA. Yeah, they all be acting. I even saw Shaq wobbling once. So I mean, they all get in on it. So which one, Ted, is it for his? Are you talking about the bag or are you talking about the better play out of Hardaway Senior, Kyrie? Best handles? Well, the best handles I ever saw I can make a case for a few people. Curly Neal from the Harlem Globetrotters had the best handles. If we're gonna generalize, AI had a sick crossover. Kyrie's got crazy handles. Steph got crazy handles. Isaiah Thomas, Zeke had crazy handles. Pistol Pete Maravich. Pistol Pete underrated all the time. His stuff was sick. White chocolate handles, but Pistol Pete for me. Better player. The better player was Kyrie. Yeah, he was a better scorer than Tim Hardaway Sr. And he had more going for his offense too. It's not about being revolutionary. The fact is that he can go left, right, dark, go, and pop that long range shot on you, and you never see no one pick his pockets when he does that. That's what makes it. It don't have to be revolutionary. It's scary effective. Because most people ain't gonna go out there and try to go one on one him. You seen Anthony Davis try to go one on one against Steph and get left at the stop. LeBron went hard on him too. Most cats, you have to face guard him and defend him. Wouldn't call his handles revolutionary. His game is revolutionary, but his handles is great though. Because if you understand how much dribbling he does, his handles are great though. He got handles. You ever see him take that left? That left, that left got an that left wants a word with you outside. His left hand take ain't no joke. Because AI would shift and pump you. He actually brings the ball inwardly towards his body like he's going between his leg with it. And so he jukes you. That's what makes his. He jukes you. So he gets you on a hard bite. Kyrie, because he's actually like a yo-yo. He dribbles like a yo-yo. Marbury had handles. He's the most underrated cat, but he brought a lot of stuff on himself. Some people are going to laugh when I say this. I always thought he was the better version of Allen Iverson. It's just that he was a head case and he ran himself out the league. But his skills, his handles, his scoring, you know, but yeah, the more unpredictable ones, yeah. Of course it was because he could juke you. He could pump fake with his hair, head motion, shoot from all over the court, size you up, and out hustle you. That's what made him so because what he lacked in speed, he made up in hustle. And he go behind the back on your butt too if you weren't ready. Underrated bag. It looks slow and it put your butt to sleep, but he'll leave your butt at the top of the key if you don't take him seriously. Okay, well, I'm glad you came through, DP. Appreciate you coming through. We'll be back. Yeah, I'll try to get back tomorrow. Glad you came through, though, man. Appreciate you. Great commentary as always, and comments and questions. So, yeah, that's what's up, though. Yeah, but he wasted. He was a 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 all right now. Derek Coleman was a bum. He was a bum. Should have been, could have been. Should have been with Karl Malone and Barkley and them. Was a bum. I remember reading the ESPN magazine and they was talking about they would never give him a call because he just wasted a career. And he did. When he was in Syracuse, he was nice. Had the quick step, hit that sweet fade on you. Just got in the NBA and just did what he wanted to do. Bum. He was good. Athletic, had agility, could move. but he was good. He wasn't great. But he'll get in the Hall of Fame. Watch. Sure, Adam Silver say, let's get him in the Hall. He was good. You'll understand why I start to despise the NBA Hall of Fame and a lot of stuff that they do, because it's a lot of stuff that they do. It's embarrassing. LeBron James. Um, Scottie Pippen. And you can ask me why, and I'll tell you. They come off the top. You want to know why? I'll tell you if you ask questions. Those two come off the top. Let me think who else could come. Okay, for LeBron, he really didn't have any moves. He just shoots and he's more effective when he drives. But a lot of stuff, it doesn't really move me. I mean, he shot his best in Miami when he had percentages, but I never really felt it. Scotty was an inconsistent scorer. And for his versatility and all that hype he talked about, he wasn't that kind of leader as an offensive force. So I don't really feel it with him like that. For all that hot air he talked. Just never thought he really had it like that. Um, let's see. This is gonna be a good one too. Let me see who can I pick on. Who fits my overrated bag? Yeah, it is. Because for all his athleticism, and Gilbert is right. Gilbert Arenas was right. When Gilbert the broke clock is right, I gotta give it to him. This guy should have been mentioned with Kobe. He should have been mentioned with a lot of guys. And it just never came to be. It never came to be. And it's sad too. Because this is a cat that had the goods. Lamar Odom's bag is overrated. And New York, and he handles and he can play positions, and he just never put it together. Never put it together. Lamar Odom falls in that category. Never put it together. Um, yeah, Lamar didn't really, because he was supposed to have been a second option. Remember, they were going to be the Jordan and Pip, and then they had to bring Paul Gasol, and then he slid to third. And then when Meta came in, he slid to four. He was never the dude he should have been. The goods, as Kenny the Jet called him. Talent, yes. But it together, no. Overrated. Okay. I had somebody else in mind too. I'm gonna keep thinking. Come to mind. Because I like to bring them shockers. That way you be like, oh. Well, I said great place. I ain't gonna be dealing with cats that's a duh. He wasn't great. He was good. What's up? Appreciate you, AG. Let's stick to some names. Dwight Howard, okay? Let's go with the big names. Never had it. For all them point of what he put up, it didn't get there. All right, AG, appreciate you. Let's see who else can I mention? I gotta hit you with some names that count. Chris Webber, that didn't hit. Hmm. This ain't gonna be popular. Yao Ming. Never thought it really hit like that. No, because he had hands and stuff. I didn't think where did his game go? Where did he go? Do we talk about him with KG? Do we talk about him with Duncan? We don't even really talk about him with Rasheed Wallace, if you want on. He was talented, yes. Didn't think his game matched all that. Okay, you want some more names? He's yeah, but he's not great. That's not a really I wanted to be guys that got a name. Glenn was a good player to really good, not Hall of Fame. That's why I don't when you ask me this question, I'm giving you names. I'm not giving you guys who are in the good, pretty good, or really good. I'm going guys that you might consider Hall of Fame or guys that I get your attention. Patrick Ewing. Finger rolling. Outside shot was good, but the finger rolling and just He was athletic, talented, but when I ask you with where is you on your all-time centers list? Where you got him? Where you got him? Think about it. Think real long and hard where you got him. Okay. And who's he ahead of right now? Is he ahead of Jokic? Billy Donovan comes to mind. That's a duh. Too raw to tell you that. Okay. I'll be curious about your top 10 centers then. Okay. Since you got Patrick in your top 10, because where's David Robinson in your top 10 centers? Got me curious. And you got Willis Reed. I got some 10. I don't know if Patrick Ewing makes my top 10 centers. I'm going to keep it 100. Because I got Shaq, Kareem, Russell, Chamberlain, Moses Malone, Hakeem, Jokic, Willis Reed. That's 8. Nate Thurman would be in my top 10. Hmm. I already said Dave Robinson. Yeah, so Patrick barely, he is close. I got to think about that. I'm keeping it 100. I don't think he better than Artis Gilmore was. I'm going to keep 100. Um, his defense was, but his offensive game kind of didn't move me. Overrated NBA coaching bags. Okay, you want any coach? Because if we just stick to any coaches, I'll say Billy Donovan comes to mind. Doc Rivers comes to mind. If he don't win in Milwaukee, yes, yes. Um, but by basketball, I'm talking about overrated coaching bags. There's a lot of them. Frank Vogel about to be an overrated one too. He really fallen off. He really fell off. Ooh. What about Phil? See, I'm gonna tell you Phil's greatness. Phil could take role players and make them look great. And Phil got a lot out of his role players. That was one of his great strengths. And he utilized strategic moves. It's the subtlety that he did. That's what made his moves so great. He knew how to bring people, and he also know how to coach ego. I don't look at him as overrated at all as a coach. He employed some good tactics. Alderman, offensively, I told you he to me was like a cross between Don Nelson and D'Antoni. He just didn't finish. Got 2 teams to the finals or near the finals. He could coach. He definitely had a style that worked, you know. Well, you're gonna make me say something I don't want to have to say, but right now, because of what happened with them last year, I gotta say Deion Sanders, because Colorado had a lot of hype, but they got undercoached. He was relying on a lot of talent and smoke and mirrors, and they didn't have the depth. So when you don't, Can't say nothing about Urban Meyer because Urban Meyer's got a chip. He sucked in the NFL. Chip Kelly did great in college. Can't say nothing, baby. How's it overrated when the guys both were proven real great in college? Urban Meyer got a chip. Chip Kelly's offense in Oregon was great. He just sucked in the NFL just like Urban Meyer did. Now I got to pick on programs where the coaches didn't get it done, not cats that got it done, but they sucked in the NFL. That's a different argument. No, I said last year Dion's ones was overrated. They didn't even hardly become half the team. But the hype, they won them 4 games, but they struggle. So I'm looking forward to what he comes with this year. And excuse me. Yeah, and I'm not hating on him. I'm not hating on him. I'm stating the facts. They were underachieving. They didn't finish games. That's what I had a problem with, you know. Yeah, we'll see when time comes. I don't really get excited at this stage. We'll see. No one's giving Michigan much love because of obviously a new coach and situation. So we'll see. Mm, I don't know how you figure they're down. They lost to Michigan in overtime, and you can make the case they were arguably the second best team last year. I mean, because Michigan spanked Washington, even though it was kind of close, but it wasn't really close. I don't know how they down. They weren't that far off. Yeah, tell me something. Please, please tell me something, because Washington almost lost to Texas. There was a few things went their way. Alabama was arguably the second best team last year, so I don't know. I don't know. You're gonna have to clarify that one for me because I watched all 4 teams play, and they gave Michigan more of a game than Washington did. And I think Alabama was better than Texas with consistency. So I want to know where Alabama fell off because they didn't look good, but when they got that game against Georgia, and they they look good against Michigan. Well, picked to win, but the game went to overtime. So I don't that says that hey, that was a close game. So I don't know how they down because they did to me look like the second best team of the final four that I saw. Washington barely got by Texas. And then when they lost to Michigan, they was getting ran off the field because of the ground game. So Bama was in the game. They got stopped. That's all. It was a couple of things in the game against Michigan. They could have very well have gone and played for the chip. So we just were better. That's all. They might come back next year and do the thing. So see. Mm. But I know that without Nick Saban, the magic will probably be gone. But I mean, are they gonna be that? He should be on the hot seat. And I hate Ohio State, but you know, I don't care as long as we beat them. But he should be on the hot seat. You can't win 11, 12 games and get spanked by Michigan every year and expect them to just be all cool with it. It's not how it goes. And you better, if you don't step up against us, them 9 wins don't count. Them 10 wins don't count. I already know. And it's not that you lose to Michigan, you get blowed out. They be hitting you with bombs too. So, but nothing I can say about it. Excuse me. Nothing I can say about it. Bet it did. They all hurt. No, they love mediocrity. That's what's up. It's probably one of them situations where because he's a backup and he's a flunky. But don't be surprised he goes there and actually gets the start or something that they do something with him. Old boy with the Jets can't coach quarterbacks. Their coach ain't geared for that. He's another meathead. He's a lot like Mike Vrabel was. So when you get a meathead coach, uh, if you a scrub, you know, if you a scrub, you ain't got no hope with a meathead coach. Yeah, meathead is except he's a winning meathead. He actually wins 12 games. But the meathead coaches like Vrabel and oh boy for the Jets, they're like 8, 9, 8, 10 wins. Let's win the game 17-16. That's meathead world. They never coach you up, and you never see thriving quarterbacks. Meathead McCarthy has had great quarterbacks, but he thinks like a meathead. That's why he loses. They do. They do. They do. Because Matt Flynn, when Pete Carroll signed him, and all the Charlie Whitehurst, I can name you a lot of scrub quarterbacks got hooked up with coaches, and then they looked like that's how it goes. Yep, there you go. Happens all the time. Or cats that were never was, and because no one else looked at them, go to a team, blow up. It's the NFL. Yep. He was MVP. They all sell out. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, because I was offended. I mean, it made me laugh. I mean, it was just absurd. But see, that's why you gotta be careful with sports when they start giving these cats blazers and they start put them in position because then they start telling you lies, and then sometimes you probably walk by your mirror and go, "Oh, Ted, am I hallucinating? Did I see that? My eyes going bad? Did that what?" You'll start thinking you're going crazy because then you'll have somebody come up to you, like happened to me, and ask you, "Was that guy that great?" And you be like, "Are you crazy?" But this is what they're doing. I mean, I watch them. I mean, they got Keyshawn Johnson up there, who was a good player, not great, but he got a ring. Somehow he can talk basketball. He sucks talking basketball. Paul Pierce belongs up there. There they do. Thank you. They do. Because JJ Redick is one of the worst I ever seen. He looks like he got that Britney Spears face. You remember when she was on that, what was that music show she was judging on Fox with her and Randy Jackson? Not Randy Jackson, but with Simon Cowell. It was After Idol. And she was like, and that's how he looked. He'll be making them faces when and Rob Parker and Broussard called him. I said, "Well, if you don't want to be an analyst, you know." He's like, "Do I have to do that?" So now he's sucking up to LeBron. And I'm like, "Oh, so I get it now. They're gonna try to make you, first of all, right. No one calls Tim Legler a legend. Legs was a very good 3-point shooter. But he ain't delusional. He ain't delusional. He doesn't do that. But JJ Redick is somehow considered a legend of what? But I also know that this is the Tony Romo situation where they get a white dude with the peel and he gets commercialized. They'll find a way to romanticize him, even though people who know the truth will tell you the truth. He was anything but great. Now, I have to disagree on that because that's still gonna be Kendrick or Shannon Sharp. Shannon is his Ahmad. Shannon is his Lamar. Shannon is his Ahmad. Doing that little podcast crap is just another fanboy. But at least with Jordan, we had a mod that was slurping. This LeBron Love Fest is just sickening. Um, I used to say Mark Spears, the brothers that was covering him out in the Bay. Um, Not really. No, no. He's respected though, but no. Now to get the Ahmad love, you gotta be considered the man, and you gotta have people just slurping you and just all warm and fuzzy. He gets love, but he don't get it like that. To an extent, but not like that. Nobody likes KD, yo. KD's like Archie Bunker. He's a grouch. Nobody like him. That's why he better take his butt to Golden State. If they get knocked out in the first round, he better go take his butt somewhere familiar because that Anthony Edwards is gonna put it on him. I'm telling you. I know that's one game, but if that's any indication, it could be a long series, and he could get annihilated. Yeah, but if he don't win nothing, he won't. I mean, these turkeys running around here calling him Larry Bird 2.0. Right now, he's still a junior whopper bird. He ain't. Larry Bird 2.0. He's got talent and he can score and but until your team gets past the Clippers, until your team makes some real inroads, make people really think that y'all got the one-sided deal out of you and Trey Young. Oh, he's got slurpers. Problem is he's got to have some postseason success. He's got to get to the finals and win. He's got his slurpers. They slurping him right now because he's the most important American player we got going. He's uno numero because he plays for the Celtics. And I heard Stephen A. Smith say he'd be my MVP, best record. No one even cares about the record. That's how irrelevant his game is. Because he doesn't really. That's because after the finals in 2021, that's what worked against him. He didn't finish. And when Giannis just bammed all on him, that was it. They're looking at him like they're looking at Paul George. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. So that's all that happened. But he brought that on himself. Well, who's a scrub that had an Amon? Do tell, because I don't remember no scrub having no Amon. You gotta have had a career. Like, all right, what's happening? How you doing? Like, you. One thing about the NBA, it's a star-driven league. They don't just slurp anybody. I mean, they might give you a look, but if you don't bring nothing, you ain't gonna get nothing. You know what I mean? So it depends on who you calling a scrub that's had an Amon, because I don't know him. That was a joke. That's like Michael Rappaport. Don't take that mess serious. That was a joke. They was doing it to troll. They knew that Buster didn't have no business. They were just clowning him. That was clown session. That's just like your boy Austin Reeves with the AK-47 crap. They know that dude is all right. Well, actually, when I hear, they cats will tell the truth. They say he all right. That was a joke. I saw him in Minnesota when he played. He wasn't the same dude. I don't know what to tell you, Hannah Shorts. I don't even know what you're coming on here about. So I hope you got some more to say because I'm gonna have to take that one off for now. Yeah, I had to move that. I don't even know what that's about. I know where you're going at with that Ted, but nah. And no one hired him with no job. Got that one out of here. Anyway, yeah, just to say that no. I know where you're going with that Ted, but that's not the same. Unless you wanna you know who the ultimate one would be? You missed on it, Ted. You missed the ultimate one. To give your argument a scrub. It's Kurt Rambis. You missed that. That's the obvious one. That's the obvious. And I hate to even admit that one. I hate to say that. I didn't want to even say it. His wife all up there drooling on LeBron. That was his wife over there with Jeannie Buss. Oh, like, uh, I didn't want to say it. There you go. Except Rambis wasn't he was a never was. I mean, the little token, you know, he's like Kato Kalin. I don't even know why he's famous for what he's famous for. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Well, I would say, I don't know. I know one thing, your wife up there all on the TV, all hugged up on him. I don't know. All cuddly. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Except there's some grown folks over there though. Ain't no kids over there. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what they get to do. I don't think they'd be over there with Anthony Davis cuddling out. I never saw AD ever have them sit over there and cuddle him. Because if they put their arm on, if they put their head on his shoulder, he may be off for 3 months. You know that. They like, oh, shoulders, so I don't know. You know it's true. That's why they say don't touch him. Don't touch him. Mm, that's a running joke. That ain't no joke. I'm surprised no one used that as a punchline. I said you'd never be AD over there. You put your head in his shoulder, he might not get back up. No, 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 no. Because I just don't think she was his type. That don't mean he didn't check her out, but I don't think she was his type. And she was more geared towards Kobe. I don't think so. But if I was a betting person, the Laker who probably had access to her on that championship team would have probably been Derek Fisher or Rick Fox. Them two, I expect. Fish or Fox. F and F. Them two, yes. Fish or Fox. If I was a if I had to pick somebody that I was gonna bet, I think it'd be one of them two. Because their reputation predates them. And I know she messed with Rodman, so and you know how canky Fish is, and you know Fox don't turn down nothing. So those would be the ones I would think. She has a certain type. She has a certain type that she like. So that's what comes to mind. If she did. Yeah, I heard about that. He looked like her type. That's why I think Fox would have a chance. Fox and Fish. Because Fox, Fisher, Kuzman all kind of be her types. No, she sure didn't. LeBron was like, I'm gonna quit if you don't. Because I remember that play when LeBron and Kuz were together, and you remember when LeBron fell asleep on defense and he threw him over to put his hand up on defense. LeBron was out of it then. That was 2018, 2019. So no, she didn't. So yeah. Probably didn't want to trade him. That's what I'm saying. She's got a type. She probably did like Kobe though. She probably did. Magic was probably off limits, but I know it was tempting. Nah, that ain't wouldn't have stopped him. That wouldn't have stopped him. He he would have worked with her. The only problem is that she's too much for the street. She probably kind of loud. The hype, the hype. Because how many people actually live up to the hype? I mean, we're all, you know, the media sensation of it is bigger than the actual what you get. If you go in knowing that the best guy was going to be day 2 or 3, you wouldn't even waste time with day 1 or 2. Day one. So it's a lot of hype, but that's what people love. They hope that there is that guy that's that one, but I mean, the hype is the whole fact of it. You know, I don't get into it. I know that's just wrong. But a lot of these players, some of the guys who got arrogant, got caught up and they were led to believe that they may get drafted. And it is sad when they have to wait 2 or 3 days. But you know, again, it's fair game for everybody because you could be the number one draft pick or you can be the 199th pick. If you make it, you make it. That's the bottom line. And you never know how these gonna turn out. You never know. You never know. He wanted to get drafted by the 49ers. That's why. And there's a lot of stuff that goes on. So you got to be squeaky clean. Your stock's got to be right. And so much that has to go right for you. So that's a lot. Like I said before, it's a lot. Yeah. Well, that's meathead for you. So what you expect? That's why I call him meathead. He's consistent. Mr. 12 wins every year. Knocked out the first round. That's meathead for you. Good job, Dallas. Good job, Dallas. But keeps getting knocked out. He beats up on scrub teams, stockpiles wins, plays a legit team, get his butt ran out. Yeah, how long ago was that though? And how long did he have y'all? What did he do? And he wasn't he your coach that lost that game to Seattle in Seattle and Russell Wilson looked like he had been partied all night and like he had a hangover? I mean, no, no. There you go. I ain't got nothing to say about that meathead. Yeah, and he's been riding off that ring. Even if you win a ring, you get to be simple. You can start to turn into a Fisher Price situation because it's starting to look like that in Dallas. He ain't winning nothing in Dallas. He wins 12 games every year, and they find more ways to lose playoff games. Well, yeah, you know what? If your receivers don't drop some of them passes, that game ain't that close. That Super Bowl was closer than it should have been because Pittsburgh's defense was fit to get had, but y'all dropped some passes in that game. That should have been a blowout. Because I thought Aaron Rodgers looked great in that game. They just dropped a lot of passes. But what's McCartney done since then? He ain't even got no runner up Super Bowl. Yeah. But y'all would have better team though. I remember that Super Bowl. Y'all would have better team. Jacobs is a great running back for y'all. That's a great look. Well, I already thought he was already retired. Did I miss something? I mean, did I miss something? Like when Cat supposed, let's like Rondo retiring. Weren't you already retired like 3 years ago? DeMarcus Cousin, weren't you retired like 2 years ago? Blake Griffin, weren't you retired like 4 years ago? I mean, did I miss something? Yeah, I thought Matt Ryan was gone. Ain't nobody been thinking about Matt Ryan. Sorry. It wasn't like he was gonna come back and do nothing. They're supposedly going to. That's what I heard. They're gonna consider making a move. I heard that on the low. I don't know how true it is. I don't know how true it is. Then Marvin Harrison Jr. was a prospect that I've been hearing about. I was on Buffalo Range, which is live on Instagram and also on Facebook. There's rumors about them looking at receivers, um, linebackers. There's a couple of things I've been hearing. That's what I heard. I'm sure without Diggs, they're gonna look to make a kind of move. They freed up all that cap. They freed up all them plus spots. So I'm sure they're up to something. I just don't know what it's going to lead to. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do that though. Yeah, but I don't know. Again, who knew he's going to turn out like that? you know, when you get a Julio Jones, because he had size and strength and talent, and was a great player. So, you know, but that was a long time ago. Yes, they have. And no one's feeling sorry for him either. No one's feeling sorry for him. But the truth is, if they get that quarterback position stopped right now, they might be a threat out the AFC because they're not that far off. They've got the running game, they got the receivers, they got the defense. They just don't have the quarterback. That may be their Achilles right now. So, well, their fans got every right to complain because they are actually a quarterback away from being a threat. They really are a good team. The Lions, ain't no one crying about no Lions. It was just last the first time in like 20 years they was legit. And they choked away their NFC championship. Ain't nobody gonna feel about no Lions. Campbell up there trying to be cute and cost them a trip to the Super Bowl. Yeah. That's why it take y'all 30 years to get to something. Nobody care about no Lions like that. Lions, please. And you keep doing boneheaded moves like that against Frisco, and it'll be another 30 years before you see a chance again. Do dumb tricks, you get dumb prizes. That was just dumb. Yeah, so anyway. I'm sorry, Ted, you have to be subjected to them fans. Because it's sometimes you just got no luck at all. You don't win nothing. You don't be nothing. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, I understand it. And they got a good squad right now. And they're in arguably the toughest division in football. I'm not going to even argue that. You ain't going to hear me say otherwise. Because believe me, Pittsburgh's got a quarterback now. You know what Cincinnati's got? Baltimore. You got a two-time league MVP. You got a former Super Bowl champion head coach in Pittsburgh. You got a runner-up in Cincinnati, and a guy that's one to consider one of the 4 or 5 best quarterbacks going today. And then you got Cleveland's got a top tier defense. So yeah, but if you squander it and you don't put nothing to it, I can't do nothing for you. So yeah, you're very fortunate. 2 Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, MVPs. That's real rare. I envy you. Because it was a long time before we got Josh Allen after Flutie and them. That was a long time. We paid a price. Or you could be like the Cowboys and have two really good quarterbacks who just never get to great. You could be like Dallas. Or you could be like, yeah, Washington ain't trying to hear you. And the only team I know who gets away with somebody being maybe considered good or great or being a bum is the Giants. They the only team to get away with that and make it work. Most teams, if they stink with somebody, it take a long time for they see their heyday again. So It's yeah, it's yeah, you're very grateful. Yep. Oh, I know. Before I become a fan of one team or anything, I'm a fan of football, and I've been observing. And the Giants, the only team I know who can somehow make that. They make that. That's strange how that work. Because most teams are kind of like the Arizona Cardinals. And he was he was a never was. And threw them picks to Larry Brown. That was hilarious. Larry Brown was such a third tier corner, it wasn't even funny. Went out to the Raiders and went and became a milk carton. And Neil O'Donnell made Larry Brown a household name. Bad picks. They sure did. I remember that offense they ran with Neil O'Donnell because Cordell was on the. That's true. There's some cats you don't hear from for a while. They be on a milk carton. Like, well, what happened to him? That's why Shaq and Charles. Remember they play who he played with on the NBA TNT. He become a milk carton. That's why. Shoot. When you're up there telling me Blake Griffin retired, I'm like, oh, where was he at? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't even know I'm like, did I miss something? Did I? I mean, there are some milk carton cats around. I'm keeping it 100. I don't know where they are. Cause some of these bums, some of these busters, I don't even know. And bums I ain't even heard in so long. I'm like, well, he still playing? What? I'm gonna keep it real with you. If I don't see Chicago Bulls highlights, I forget about DeRozan and Lonzo Ball. I'm just keeping it 100 because they don't enter my radar. They don't do nothing, especially DeRozan. You know what I'm talking about. And I do have internet Wi-Fi, obviously, but there's some cats. Look, if I don't check, I don't know where they. You lucky we're in the high. We lucky we're in the social media area. Some of these cats would be milk cartons for real. Oh, there's a lot of them. A lot of them. But there's guys that you watch in sports that you put as a milk carton too. I forgot about some of these cats. I ain't lying. Mm-mm. It's different in Hollywood because there are tiers to this. Excuse me. There's money put on you. That's a little bit different. I can't hold them the same because unless you a top tier actor or something, that's a lot of reasons involved. But in sports, it's different. Music is like that too because you can fade out, but sports is different. I got access to you all the time. I don't have access to you. That's what I'm talking about because you thought they were on a milk carton because you forgot all about them. You ain't heard nothing from them since you was a kid, probably. You thinking, I ain't seen you since I was watching Blues Clues. There's quite a few of them. I mean, and there's different reasons why their careers vanished. Some of it's because they didn't do cheeks for checks. Some of them because they weren't that good to begin with and they were only on a hot show that was happening. And then when it faded, they faded. And then some of them because um, they got the tier level they were in, they were just ordinary. It's always some reasons involved. A lot of it goes for cheeks for checks, though. Unless, of course, you got charisma. Because let's be realistic, they can make or break who they want to. So if they don't see people doing things they want, you don't hear from them. And it ain't because, it's a lot of different reasons. But some of them ain't got the kind of talent. There are levels to it, though. And there are tiers to it. But some of them just weren't that good to begin with. That's all. I have to tell it like it is because I just don't want to sugarcoat it. So, because I'm not sugarcoated about that. Some of them just weren't that good. So, there's a reason why they've gone. No, because he was Steve Harvey before Steve Harvey. He had crossover appeal. He was the good Negro, but he didn't. No. He wasn't the good Negro. He was a crossover Negro, but he wasn't the Negro that they didn't put no money on him. Not like that. They kept him as a happy, clappy one, but he wasn't. No, he was pre Steve Harvey. He was pre Harvey. You know, the only problem with him is he just didn't sell. No, he just didn't sell though. He's underrated. He's underrated, but he's a little. But he was kind of limited too because he couldn't really. Until I saw him in Resurrection Boulevard, he kind of played a certain role. He funny. He has moments, but you know, again, I liked him in Resurrection Boulevard. It was a little bit different for him, but it's a lot of like I said, he was good. He was good. I told you he was a pre Steve Harvey crossover appeal, but remember he used to host Showtime at the Apollo. Steve Harvey got it. You know. You know. Hollywood's real predictable with stuff like that because they do like a dummy run. They say, okay, let's go get another one. I think it was Mario Van People once said, he said, let's go get one. I never heard him say that. I never heard him say that. He couldn't stand Norman Lear. I never heard him give up no cheeks to no Lear. Because he said he didn't go to the parties. He said that what I know about Demar Wilson, he didn't give up no cheeks to that, but he did run with the mob though, and it were drugs and stuff. So yeah, yeah, he knew it was about that. Of course, they promised him. He had some TV roles, and they were cookie cutter. He did Odd Couple with Ron Glass, and he did Baby I'm Back with Denise Nichols. But he never got no money roles. He never got no big time roles. So that's what's up. I'm gonna get ready to go because I get ready to go eat, and I'll definitely be back tomorrow. Everything goes okay and cool. Appreciate all the questions, comments, everybody that came through. Appreciate the thoughts, Ted. There was some funny stuff. We cracked up as usual. A lot of stuff going on. So it wasn't about Cheeks. He was a one trick pony because it's all about Kid Dynamite. See, when you play like a buffoon, when you do a buffoon, they luck and got Gary Coleman to do what you talking about, Willis. And then they got what's happening with hey, 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 hey. And then they got Will Smith. He was limited. He had some movies, but they were like TV. He wasn't, he was a one trick pony. And they couldn't sell him no way. And at that time, they didn't have black. He wasn't going to be a leading man. He was stuck with a catchphrase, and what else did he have? So he put himself behind the 8 ball. He was kind of locked in, you know. And when they got somebody like Eddie Murphy blew up, he still had gigs and stuff, and he still was doing it, but he wasn't gonna get no. He wasn't that kind of comedian. So that's how I look at. That's one of the things right there. If you don't have a fallback plan or you don't connect in a certain way, they're done with you. But they're not done with him like that. But they don't have. He's just corny. So you got to make sure you don't fall trap and prey to being a one trick pony. Being black and being funny in that industry can backfire if you don't have, you know, that's what happened to him. So, but anyway, I really don't talk. I watched his work, but he was limited. He was limited. Sometimes they just be limited too. It ain't always based on. Sometimes they just don't have no, because the gimmick then ran out. And Demont Wilson would probably tell you the same thing about Jimmy Walker. It was a one trick buffoonery type of thing. That's why he blew up, you know. But then what else did he have to offer? They made albums with him. They put that on T-shirts. He was big. But then when that novelty wore off, the Gary Coleman came along. He was younger, and they liked that. And then they got someone like Eddie Murphy. So it's a tough game. Just don't get caught. You get caught, you have a hard time coming back from it. So business is cold. There's a lot of politics. It's like what you saw. Like very few people come out like Will Smith did. He was an anomaly. That ain't the norm. You get a catchphrase and you catchy, you're only gonna have so much of a window. And he had a film career, a real career that, well, it speaks for itself. So, but you can end up like Urkel too. Just saying. A lot of them come and disappear. So anyway, appreciate everybody coming through. Appreciate the comments. Stay safe, stay warm, stay blessed. The next time I catch you, peace the best. Appreciate y'all. Have a great night. I'm out. Peace.